Hello, everyone. Welcome into the TexAgs Rewind presented by Specs. And summer's heating up, but Specs is keeping it cool. Sip, snack, and save big during the Beat the Heat sale. Now it's Specs. Cheers to savings. I'm David. We've got Nick. We've got Ava. Ava, favorite part of the show?
That's a hard one. It was a great show
not
today.
Hard. It's easy.
Oh, it was you.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding. What was it?
It was a great show today.
Thank you.
Jordan was great. Ben was great.
Yeah.
Alyssa was wonderful. I'm excited to see what they do this season.
Okay.
It's great.
So it's great all along. It's a Festivus for the rest of us. Nick, your favorite part of the show?
I'm going to say Ben Malena, just because same deal as the two guys we talked to yesterday. That's like the golden era of Aggie football for me. I'm most nostalgic for that, those few years. So I remember watching Ben Malena play in middle school and high school. So good to hear from him.
Thanks. I was covering Ben Malena at Channel 13 as a mid-30s, 40-year-old.
And I was watching David Nuno on ABC 13.
Yeah, I don't think you ever saw me.
I literally watched you before, yes.
I mean, on accident. It just happened, right? It was
probably
just
because my dad was watching the news or something, yeah.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks for making me feel old. That's where you get paid the big bucks. What's on the rewind?
Well, buddy, we have the Go Hour with OB and you, of course. Chris Lee, Southeastern 16, chimed in. He had ESPN's Ryan McGee, awesome guy, and former Texas A&M running back Ben Malena.
You said awesome guy like the president, by the way.
Awesome guy. I don't feel like doing it.
Check out the rewind. Number 14 on the list is
Dalton Brooks.
Let's talk about Dalton Brooks.
Let's
talk about on-the-field Dalton
Brooks. He's the best thing to come out of Shiner since that Shiner Bach beer.
I think. What about the Shiner Park place right down the road? I can see you going there, hanging, DJing.
I've never been there as Shiner Park, but my son did get in a fight there once.
Okay. Well, we have that in common. Mine was yesterday. I'm kidding. It's like a week ago. All right. Why should Dalton Brooks be one of the top 25 players on this list?
Well, first of all, he's good. He's explosive. He has a world of potential in front of him. I think Dalton Brooks is another really good reason to believe that the defense will be better this year. And you say, well, why do you say that?
But why?
He played last year, and I'll tell you why.
Tell me why.
Because.
But I ask you why, Olin Buchanan.
And I'll tell you why, David Nuno. Because last year was his first year as a starter. Guys are typically better in their second year when they've been a starter. Look at Torian York. Look at Edge Cooper.
Yep.
He's in his second year as a starter. He learned things last year, like maybe don't
relax
lead with the helmet so much. But he'll be better, I believe. And A&M needs to get better at safety. And I think he'll be a better player at safety than he was last year. He wasn't bad last year. Look, he was second on the team with 59 tackles last year. Had an interception against against USC. He was a good, productive player last year. Look for him, like a lot of players, to take a big step forward this year.
I expect a huge step from him. He's won at the high school level.
He's going to play in the NFL.
Won at the high school level,
he did.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Big time, multiple times.
He shined.
He was a shine. Yeah. And why did we do the same joke? And I followed you up like I did the copycat of it. Anyway, look, he is. When you draw up what you want an SEC safety to look like, I think you draw him up.
I mean, he's about 6'1", about 210. And he's fast. He doesn't mind getting physical either.
No.
He's not gonna shy away from anybody.
But I have no problem with Texas being number one because you got to make an argument of who should be above them. But if I'm Ohio State, who actually was number two, I take a little. I'm a little upset about it. We've got the wide receiver room. We're the returning national champions. We also have a new quarterback. But again, I can't make an argument for why a team should be better.
Speaking of those top of Texas, Georgia, Alabama, one thing that I noticed is an aside, and this tails on what you just said about returning production, David. I mean, I think that when you look at the rosters, you look at the two deeps, I feel like Alabama, Texas, and Georgia, probably more than the rest of the heavyweights in the league, have done a better job of building from within and keeping roster continuity and keeping backups, waiting their turn 1, 2, 3 years at those schools to get a better shot this year. I'll be very interested to see where that translates this year because I think all things considered, continuity is important. And that is one thing that with Texas, as you said, they've got going for them for sure.
So I found A&M at 21 fair. They've got to prove a lot to me. I think they can, but I think starting the season at 21 seems very fair. What did you think about A&M there at 21?
I think it's the right range. I mean, I look at them and I really love what they've got in the trenches. They've got a lot of returning linemen, maybe more than anybody in the SEC, maybe in college football. I'd have to check that against everyone else, but that's the thing that I always like is continuity along the line with guys that are good. Getting Moss back, who was the heart and soul of their team or that offense a year ago, is a big deal. They've got some good defenders. Again, it is a team with a lot of returning experience. I think the question for them, and Marcel Reed mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, it's that people have questions about his passing game. I think he averaged, a little bit under 7 yards an attempt. He'd probably like that number, a yard and a half higher. And look, that's something you can work around. Their identity, I think, is going to be on the ground, and he can run it pretty well too. But I think that's the one thing that, like, if that turns out better this year than it has before, I think you can absolutely make an argument that they're higher. But I have a feeling that's the concern that's got them ranked where they are.
Ryan, where are you on Texas A&M this year?
I think that Texas A&M, if the college football tooth fairy comes to College Station, as you can have the same year you had a year ago, plus a win. Like, give me another win in there somewhere. If the college football tooth fairy comes and offers you a 9-win season with a solid, what we used to call a New Year's Day bowl game, you say thank you very much, because I think they're on schedule to set themselves up for success for the next decade. And so And y'all know I'm a Tennessee alum. I've told my Tennessee people that too. If somebody comes to you and says, here's a solid 9-10 win season and a nice bowl game, you say thank you very much, because I think that A&M is on the way up. Marty and I, you guys know, we did our talking season special that'll airs next week on SEC Network, a week from today. And we sat down with Elko, and I've known him long enough to know when he knows that he's got to push in the right direction. And so that's where I am with them. I think that, like so much of the SEC, honestly, I think like the whole conference, they could win the whole thing, or they could settle into an 8-9 win season and finish the year. And again, it's chaos, and I'm here for it.
Well, then I'll follow that up with Marcel Reed. He's obviously a big storyline with the Aggies. I thought he played really well last season. Do you like what you see from Marcel? Do you see some areas that could maybe push the Aggie offense a little bit higher?
Well, I like him, but Moss, to me, is the ticket. I think that, and rightfully so, everyone talking about Reed is the way it should go. But I just, it's funny because I've had this conversation with Elko before too, especially when I live in North Carolina, especially when he was just up the road to Duke, about, the passing game, and rightfully so, and the quarterback, and rightfully so, gets the attention. But for me, if number 8 is rolling with it, I think that's the ticket for them this year.
On the reason you picked Texas A&M.
Just was a dream opportunity for me. Coming from where I come from, suburbs, Cedar Hill, Texas, south of Dallas. Always having a dream to play football at the next level outside of high school. And with just Texas A&M, the prestige university, of course, the decorated football history. My father, told me a lot about it. Watched him growing up. Just never had a thought that, an opportunity would come like that for somebody like me. So once the opportunity did come, of course, obviously just not for the football, but just for the alumni, the location, close to home, the school, and the network that was going to come following.
So you said you didn't think that could happen for someone like you. What do you mean by that?
Well, just again, just for different dreams and different goals that you do have coming up as athletes, you do see, there are millions of athletes. And you think about the percentages of, young men that actually get an opportunity to go beyond with their playing career, not alone D1, not alone SEC, the highest level of competition. So absolutely, you wish for those things and you hope for those things, but when those things do come true, in a situation like this, I grabbed onto it the first opportunity that I got.
Was it difficult your first year and a half, kind of waiting your turn?
No, not at all. For me in my position, the backs that we had on the staff, my development of who I was as a player, I understood that I had to come in and I had to develop. So I didn't rush my time to try to become the best player that I could be. I loved watching the guys that came before me. We came, hopefully it'll be 2 Hall of Famers in Texas A&M history, and Christian Michael and Cyrus Gray. Those are 2 program legends, toting the peel. And I was in the weight room with them every day. I was in the film room with them, studying with them every day. So it gave me a great opportunity to develop. So when an opportunity was called for me, I was ready. I was ready mentally. I was ready physically. I was ready, just within the different nuances of growing up, being an adult, being a better student, just all around that made the transition for me when I got into the field very seamless.
All right, Ava. Can you awesome guy it and close out the show?
Probably not.
AKA give your best Trump impression. Go.
I don't. I do know. I heard Matthew Dawson do it once, and that was the best Trump impression I've ever heard.
Oh, now Nick
It
and
was
Matthew are
ever.
going to fight.
No, well, I
never
haven't, I
fight.
haven't heard his full one.
Well, 5-6 on 5-on-6, 5-on-6, 5-6 fight. Sorry,
I can't do it like
just
they
other
do it.
people.
Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and come back tomorrow for more.